Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5 best TV for video gaming. Starting at number 5. Samsung QE65QN95A. 2021 was very much the year of mini LED, and Samsung went bigger on this new backlighting technology than anyone else. The company has developed its own mini LEDs, which are just 1/40th the size of traditional backlight LEDs, and combined them with its existing Quantum Tech to create a range of premium TVs that it calls NeoQLEDs. The QE65QN95A is the first Neo QLED we tested, and Samsung's current flagship 4K set, at least until the new QN95B hits shops. In real-world performance terms, mini LED might not quite be the revolution that Samsung is pitching it as, but it is still a substantial upgrade to an already excellent range of TVs. The overall contrast offered is staggering, and the QN95A combines near-OLED black levels with awesomely crisp white highlights and fabulously vibrant colors, all while retaining an effortless sense of naturalism. Input lag, meanwhile, has been reduced to under 10 milliseconds, which is entirely imperceptible. If you don't mind sacrificing a little of that speed, you can enable some gaming-specific motion smoothing, although we don't find that necessary during testing. Finally, on the gaming front, the HGIG HDR Gaming Interest Group setting that was added to Samsung's 2020 QLEDs Viaduct, a software update late last year, is also present on the QN95A. This is well worth using in conjunction with your console's HDR calibration settings, as it results in a more accurate picture with deeper blacks and more detailed highlights. Coming at number 4. LG OLED 65G1. LG's first OLED Evo TV. 2021's G1 is still an excellent buy, even though it's now been slightly overshadowed by the new G2, and, to a lesser extent, the C2. So, it's not as bright as the new G2, but it's still very bright by OLED standards, not to mention terrifically sharp and detailed. It's also got all of the gaming features we've come to expect from LG OLEDs, for 40 Gbps HDMI 2.1 sockets with support for 4K at 120Hz, VRR and ALLM, plus eARC. An HGIG mode for more accurate contrast with HDR games, a sub-13 ms input lag, and a game optimizer menu that allows for more game-related fine-tuning and puts all options at your fingertips. Sound is less strong, but if you were always planning to combine your new TV with a separate sound system and the wall mount design works for you, a tabletop stand is an optional extra. The G1 should be seriously considered while it's discounted and still available. At number 3. Samsung UE50AU9000. While it's not up there with the OLEDs and QLEDs on this list, Samsung's $9,000 LCD model is a great choice for gamers on a budget. Unlike the cheaper AU models, the AU9000S3 HDMIs support both VRR and 120Hz signals. This instantly makes the UE50AU9000 a much more compelling option as a monitor for a PS5, Xbox Series X, or a PC with a new high-end NVIDIA or AMD graphics card. Even though the 120Hz support can only be sustained at 1080p resolutions rather than 4K, the gaming features don't stop there either. There's also support for ALLM, and input lag with game mode activated is a minuscule 9. Its brightness and rich but controlled colors play beautifully with the spectacular 4K HDR graphics capabilities of the latest gaming machines, while the support for higher and variable refresh rates joins forces with the exceptionally low input lag to contribute to a fantastically immediate and immersive experience. Deeper blacks would be nice, though. Number 2 of my list. LG OLED 48C1. If you're looking for a much more affordable and much more compact LG OLED, the 48-inch version of 2021's C1 is the way to go. Like the G2 above, it boasts 4 HDMI 2.1 sockets with support for eARC, 4K/120Hz, ALLM auto low latency mode, and VRR, variable refresh rate. VRR is supported in all 3 current formats, the most important HDMI VRR format NVIDIA G-Sync and AMD FreeSync Premium. The dedicated game optimizer menu gives you quick access to all of those game-related settings as well as features that adjust gaming picture performance, either based on the genre of the game you're playing or through manual tweaking of the detail in the brightest and darkest parts of the picture. In short, only the newer C2 and G2 are better specified gaming TVs, and even then it's not by much. So the C1 is well worth picking up while it's discounted and before stock runs out. We've tested the C1 in its 48-inch and 65-inch sizes, and you can read full reviews of both TVs by clicking the links below. And number 1. LG OLED 65 G2. LG's OLEDs have been the go-go choice for gamers for a few years now. Its dominance of this list is no accident, and the new G2 is simply the best yet. The big news is that this is the brightest OLED that LG has ever produced, thanks to a combination of OLED Evo technology and a new heat sink element that allows the panel to be driven even harder than before. The extra punch is transformative, making all content, including games, pop from the screen in glorious fashion. Thankfully, black depth hasn't been sacrificed, so overall contrast is astonishing. And in fact, there's been an uptick in shadow detail, which not only makes the picture more authentic, it also makes for fewer surprises in online deathmatches. The overall gaming spec is unbeatable, too. The only downsides to the G2 are its premium price, lack of a bundled stand, it's primarily designed to be wall-mounted, and that it's not available in sizes below 55 inches. We tested the 65-inch version. If those are major obstacles for you, look out for our imminent review of the C2, which is less bright than the G2 but solves all of those slight issues. Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.